As Heather mentioned, the Prime Minister is trying to strike a delicate balance between Alberta's push to expand the oil industry and BC's concerns over preserving environmental protections. And there was a lot more to that multi-billion-dollar deal announced for BC today. Ben O'Hara-Byrne is tracking those details and politics for us from Victoria. Ben.
Thanks, Jeff. Yes, the Prime Minister called David Eby, the Premier of BC, back from a trade mission to China to make this announcement. We now understand why. There's a lot in there that was on BC's wish list, including a lot of money. There's money for something known as the North Coast Transmission Line. That's to electrify the North, provide clean energy to things such as LNG and mining. There is money for port infrastructure. The Port of Vancouver, by far the busiest in the country. There's big bottlenecks there. It may also allow for a southern pipeline route, but we'll get to that as well. There's money for a copper mine in BC, as well as plans to expand critical mineral development. That's been a big deal around the world for the Prime Minister. BC integral in all of that. Money for something known as the Massey Tunnel. This is one of those commuter projects that's dogged many a government in this province. So up to $3 billion from Ottawa to help get this project, which is late and over budget, off the ground or moving along a little faster, and support for LNG projects such as LNG Phase 2 and Siliciums, another big project that BC is banking on. The Premier obviously very pleased about what he heard from the Prime Minister, what this deal entails. Have a listen to what he had to say.
This is a BC agreement about BC projects. It, on our math, approaches $20 billion in commitments to this province. It is a generational federal commitment that we have been asking for a long time.
Another thing that BC has been asking for is for Ottawa not to lift the federal tanker ban, the northern tanker ban. And Mark Carney has agreed to that, which in many ways is exactly what BC was looking for. Now, this may land Mark Carney a bit of trouble with Alberta. Alberta's been wanting to go north with this pipeline route. This clearly rules that out, as far as we can tell. The opposition Conservatives have been asking for that ban to be lifted. But listen, BC was adamant about this. This was a red line. They said lifting it would threaten other projects that are already underway, that have First Nations approval, that have community approval in the north of BC, and to not respect this tanker ban would be to put those in jeopardy. The Prime Minister was clearly listening. We know how important BC is to his plans to diversify Canadian trade. That was on display today. Jeff?
Ben O'Hara-Byrne in Victoria. Thanks, Ben.